This tutorial is on using user dimensions. We all know that a successful kitchen design depends largely on accurate dimensions and getting these dimensions to your installer. This tutorial will walk you through all the different user dimensions available in ProKitchen. The first things we want to look at with our dimensions is under our Design Settings tab and our units. And here we can switch between metric, imperial inches, and imperial feet and inches. And I'm just going to leave this at imperial inches for now. Now if we go into our display settings, we can change the defaults on our dimensions. Here we've got it set up with our box checked so that our user dimensions are showing. We are going to put dimensions on cabinets, base, wall, and tall. We're also going to dimension our appliances and our room elements. Now with these we can change and we can set the appliances to a center line as well. And this will give you the center line to each appliance. I've clicked that and we can come in here and see exactly what it does. Now here we can see with our appliances, we've got a refrigerator here, we've got a center dimension, we've got a stove, we've got a center dimension, we've got a microwave, we've got a center dimension up here. So that's what our center dimensions will give us when we click on that. Now if we go back into our display settings and dimensions, we can turn that back off. And here we can see we don't have those center dimensions. Other things that we can do in this tab, we can set our countertop dimensions. Now this can get pretty clustered on our layout if we do this. And this is actually a feature that we can do in our different views down here that makes things a little bit easier when we're trying to get countertop measurements. So you can see how many measurements that gets put out here on that. Little confusing. So we're going to turn that back off. We can do the same thing with our moldings. We've got our style over here. Now here we can change our font of our measurements. We can change the size of our measurements. We can put them in different text. We can do bold or italic. We can also change our line thickness. Now if we change our font up here, we change our line thickness, you can see the difference that that makes. I'm going to set these back. Set these back. We can also change our line colors. We've got a whole palette of colors we can choose from. We can change our font colors. We can set these to any of those. I'm just going to leave it set up the way it is. Now with the layout that I already have up here, we already have pretty good dimensions going around it. But we may need to add other dimensions. And so to do this, we're going to go up here and we're going to use our measurement setting. And our first one we can start off with is horizontal. Now horizontal comes in handy when you need to know two measurements between something. For instance, the distance between my stove and the edge of my wall here, but I want to know the dimension this way. So we can come in here with our horizontal. We can click on the corner of a cabinet because you have to click on a point. We come out here and click on the corner of my wall, and it tells me that I have 14 7/8 inches between my wall and the edge of my stove. They can come in handy in many different instances. If I want to delete this dimension, I can simply click on it with a left click, hit delete on my keyboard, and now we can move on to our next one. So our next measurement here is vertical. Now for the vertical, that's going to give me the measurement. If I want to do this again, it's going to give me the opposite measurement between here. So if I want to know the measurement vertically between my stove, the corner of my stove, and the corner of my cabinet, it gives me a 48-inch measurement. And again, you have to click on points. Now these two measurements make a little bit more sense when we use them in elevations. Now with an elevation up, we'll go back to our measurement, we'll go to our horizontal, and this one I can get a horizontal measurement between any 2 points. So let's say I need a point from the edge of my window over to the end of my cabinet run. If I click on it here, it's going to give me that dimension. Now that dimension is kind of hidden here, so if I right click on the dimension, come down, I can go to move, and I can drag that dimension down to where it shows me. Right click on it again,